So when you're practicing a piece of music, you may find that there's a particular passage that is not fitting into your voice properly. And you try everything that you possibly can to just keep banging it out the way that it's written. But what would really help is if you could isolate that passage and then come up with a vocal exercise to encourage your voice, to train your voice to do what it's supposed to within the repertoire. And there are many, many different ways to do this. But I'm just going to pull out 3 pieces of music. 2 of them are classical, 1 is not, to just show you just a couple of little techniques that you can do that can help you create an exercise from a passage. So the first thing I want to talk about is how to approach high notes. When you have a particular high note that sort of has to come out of nowhere, then how is it that you can create a vocalize around that to sort of help encourage your voice to go into that high note with ease? So to make an example of this, I'm going to use the Puccini aria O mio babbino caro. I'm not going to sing it in the octave that it's supposed to, but you'll get the point. So it's O mio babbino caro, mi piace. So that's a high A flat. Okay, now for lyric sopranos that would be singing this particular song, I mean, that's not a terribly high note, but some sopranos might find it challenging, okay? And not only is it a high A flat, but it is also approached by an octave. Mi piace bello. All right, so what we want to do is we want to try to find an easier way to find that high note gradually rather than just trying to scream out a high A flat, okay? So what we want to do is we know, all right, what is already built into this is an octave leap, all right? And so what we can do is we can take that octave leap and we can fill it out and figure out how it is that we can approach that high note in a easier way. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually transpose that octave leap down, say, a fourth. Okay, so it's here. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to start there. All right, and so on an E flat. And so what we're going to do is instead of singing an octave leap, what we're going to do is we're going to actually do the entire arpeggio. All right, and then what we're going to do on that arpeggio is we're going to go E, 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 oo. So what we're doing is we're establishing the E as a place to keep that tone focused where we want it to, right in that NG spot, E, right in the center of your mouth. And then on the top note, we're creating an open tall space. So on that oo vowel, so that we know what it's like to actually find that tall space up there, which means that on the way up, we have to create that tall space. So as we go up, notice as I'm going up, I'm raising my soft palate so that by the time I get to the top note, it's already there. Okay, so that's down a fourth. That's pretty easy. So now let's take that up a step. Take that up a step. And then you just keep going up until you get to where it's written, which is the A flat. Maybe even go one step higher to the A, all right, on the E, 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 oo, all right? Now, once you feel comfortable with that, what we're going to do is we're going to actually go back down the fourth, and now we're going to try it on the words. But we're still going to play the third, sing the third and the fifth in between the octave, because the third and the fifth just gives us a little extra leeway to get our support up, to go up to where we need to go in the upper octave. So this word is on bello, okay? So we're going to sing bello. So bello, and then we're going to go up. Bello, bello, and so on and so forth. So then you take it up to that note that you're going to be singing it in the song, then maybe one step higher, okay? Always go one step higher so that when you go back to where it's written, it feels easy. All right? Then go back and now do just the octave leaps on the words, starting down. Bello, 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 and so on and so forth until you get to that note and beyond it. Okay? So what we've done is we've taken the framework of the intervals that are there, we lowered it and filled in that framework in order to make the approach easier. And then we go, starting lower, we go in half steps up to the note that it's in the repertoire and one beyond. And then we gradually get to the point where we're singing it on the words. Okay? So that's how you can take a little passage that is all about how to sing a high note and try to make it a little bit more accessible. Okay?